Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mambo number 5. Now, this is the player rating. Bam, 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 badam. Mambo number 5, ladies and gentlemen, one of the best, for me personally, one of my best favorite songs of all time. Jump up and down and move it on. Okay, now, player ratings for the game against Olympique Lyon. Yes, I'm still in like kind of a little party mood, as you can probably tell. Rocka, baby. But yeah, in terms of player ratings, we're gonna go from obviously a 10 being the best possible rating you can get, all the way down to a 1. Spoiler, nobody's gotten a 1 from our team. This will just be focusing on Bayern itself. So in terms of Bayern, we're starting off at the back, which we started off with Manuel Neuer in goal, who I thought was one of our best players on the pitch. Quite frankly, I thought he was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Without him, we probably would have conceded very early on, and then it might have been a different game. But he was just solid from minute 1 to the 90th minute. For me, he gets a 10 out of 10. Yes, I'm giving him a 10 out of 10. Yes, I know I'm a person that always says I don't give people a 10 out of 10. I don't give anything a 10 out of 10, but I'm trying to do an actual rating, you know, being critical, while giving the players their props, their due. The key scenes for Neuer for me were 2 times in the game he threw the ball, like just threw the ball. Once it nearly gave Coutinho an assist. That would have been a nice assist as well. But like, he's just, you know, able to soak up the pressure. He experienced, of course, which obviously helps in these kind of scenarios. He's not reckless, but he knows when we need to go fast. He knows when he needs to slow the game down, and that coupled with his save, as well as just his overall calmness, the overall presence, and the overall clarity that he gives to the team, the assurance at the back that they can pass it to him, he can give it back, you know, just all of that combined today gives me a 10 for his game against Lyon. I thought it was just absolutely brilliant, and without him, the score could have been completely different. Left back, we're starting from left and then going to the right. Left back, Davis. I thought Davis had a quite bad game. Maybe not bad. That's probably, if I'm just trying to categorize where I would put bad. Bad for me would be like a 4 out of 10. He hasn't gotten a 4 out of 10. He doesn't go that low. Okay, but I guess, you know what, I give Neuer a 9 out of 10. A 9 out of 10, because while he did everything right, I want us to reserve the 10 out of 10 for like something truly like a truly special, you know. So for me, he gets a 9. Neuer gets a 9 out of 10. Davis, to me, he did a few good runs. He did a few things very, very right, but he was caught out of possession a few times. His pace made up for that, but then he was also caught out of positions, you know, a few more times where his pace didn't make up for that. There was a time as well during the game, which was probably a highlight, where like he went from left back to striker for like a good 5 minutes or so, and Perisic went back as a left back. Just showing the kind of fluidity that we have. He also went to the right a few times, showing the fluidity and the confidence that he has. But because we were caught out so often today, I thought he was one of our worst players, because most of the time it happened through his side, and generally that's because in today's game especially, he was a little bit too far forward and thus or didn't track quickly back enough. I'm talking about Davis, and I'm saying quick. Calm down. But yeah, I thought one of his weaker performances. So for me, he gets a 5. I know 5 is like supposed to be like the middle ground. I get that, but like 5, it really isn't the middle ground for most reviews. Most reviews have 7 as a middle ground. If you want me to actually have the 5 as a middle ground, then Neuer gets a 9. Davis, if 5 is just neutral, then Davis gets a 4.5. A 4 would be bad. So he was just slightly above bad, and just slightly below decent. Alright, so Davis for me gets a 4.5 out of 10. Alaba. I thought Alaba was fantastic. I thought our centre back pairing in general was fantastic. Alaba for me, he straight up, I can say this with full confidence, he was one of our better players. To me, he gets, quite frankly, I'm trying to think of what I would give him. I'd probably give him an 8. To me, he gets an 8. Very, very good performance from him. Very, very solid. Really making that left centre back role his own, showing why he should be playing, why he is playing, showing why he should be starting, why he is starting, showing why he's such an integral part of our team, why a lot of fans, including me, want him to extend his contract. Just showing why he's all around very, very good and class. I thought he was fantastic. And spoiler, same thing goes for Boateng. I thought Boateng was fantastic as well. I'm giving him the same score, an 8 out of 10 as well. I thought both of them were absolutely brilliant. Both of them made up for the mistakes that our midfielders would often make, and without them, we severely would have been in a lot more trouble. Now, should I get into subs as well? Perhaps. I will perhaps get into them. Some of them didn't really play long enough. Some of them, there's not much really to say, but that's what we'll leave it off with our centre back, with Boateng and Alaba, both of me getting an 8 out of 10. And that's with 5 being the middle ground. Okay, 5 is decent. We're not going from 7 up. 7 is okay. No. 7 might be okay actually. 5 is decent though. All right. So they're both getting from me an 8. Kimmich. Did Kimmich get 2 assists? The first Gnabry goal, I think so. Yes. The second Gnabry goal. No. He got the Lewandowski assist. That's what it was. Yeah, he got the Lewandowski assist. 2 assists. Does that mean I'm gonna boost his rating? Yes. Yes. I thought Kimmich was good. In fact, I thought he was great. Which is why I'm giving him an 8. I thought he was great. That he made a lot of good runs. He helped a lot in. I'm giving Kimmich an 8.5 because our midfield was lacking. Our midfield was poor in this game. One of the poorest I've seen our midfield in. But in the second half, when Kimmich went into the midfield, there was a lot more stability. There was a lot more calmness. There was a lot more of a presence there. So the fact that just him moving into midfield, that he has been this season, he has been our main midfielder. He has been the first midfielder on a team sheet, and it's always just a question of who plays with Kimmich. Is it Goretzka? Is it Tolisso? Is it Thiago? So he is the first name that used to be on midfield, but then obviously Pavard got injured, and now he's filling up at the right back spot. So, yeah, to me, Kimmich, 2 assists. That's nice. All right, that alone gets him to like a 7.5. Unless he made some drastic mistakes, which he didn't. And then just considering how he filled in, how he actually played overall, to me, makes me give him an A rating of an 8.5. Obviously, the Gnabry assist do people consider that an assist? I always just look at it and I'm like, yeah, technically it's an assist, but that's a half assist, alright? And looking at the statistics, I think Kimmich has 3 Champions League goals this season and 3 Champions League assists. And you look at someone like Thomas Müller, I think Thomas Müller has 4 Champions League goals this season and 3 Champions League assists. So Kimmich, from a right-back position, granted he hasn't played there all season at Champions League, but from a right-back position, Kimmich has as many assists, I think, as Müller, which says a lot. That's how good his season has been. Not how bad Müller's been in Champions League, because Müller, as I always say, one of our best players. He's the reason why I think we've done so well under Flick. He's one of the key reasons. I would say probably the biggest reason. But that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about Kimmich. Just saying how good of a season Kimmich has had. So, Kimmich, very good. 8.5. 8.5. Very nice. Then we start with our midfield 2. Let's 4-2-3-1. Midfield 2. Goretzka. If Davis has a 4.5, honestly, Goretzka for me gets a 3.5. Yeah, just shocking. In the sense of he was basically invisible in the first half, and then in the second half he was a lot more active. He was a lot more present. I'll give him a 4 because he managed to up his performance in the second half. Which largely was done because Kimmich moved into midfield, and that's when the performance kind of shot up. But the first half was so bad, so abysmal, that I was like, ooh, What this is worst performances. This is his worst performance since the restart. I'm like, oh, that was poor. That was poor. So just from that perspective, I'm giving him a 4, which still gives him the lowest score that I've given so far. Spoiler, it's not the only 4, because the next player that I'm giving a 4 is Thiago. Thiago, I'm debating whether I should give Thiago lower. Thiago, he was the reason Lyon had so many chances in the first half, because he as Thiago is, he's very, very secure on the ball. He's very, very good on the ball, but the balls that he did give away were very, very cheap balls, very, very easy. I've actually watched the game twice now. Once when it happened live, and then I've rewatched the whole game. And Thiago was exceptionally poor for what he normally does, which is why when Kimmich moved into midfield, I was like, good. Like Thiago was that poor that I was like, good. Finally, we finally have some midfield presence. So Thiago, I actually give him a 3.5, just to signal that he was our worst player on the pitch, in my opinion. And then we go to Perisic. My goodness. I know Perisic assist. Would you give it an assist? I mean, Lewandowski should have gotten the assist, right? But like Perisic, he obviously should have gotten an assist. Lewandowski should have finished that. So I'm gonna count it as an assist. I'm not gonna like up his score. I'm just saying that we got the goal because of him. But besides that, his play, he pressured a lot. He helped out defensively a lot. I will say that he helped out with the rotation a lot. As I alluded to earlier with Davis, when Davis moved up to the top, a striker for his team, Perisic dropped back and essentially acted as an auxiliary left back. So there was a lot of moments like this where Perisic, he wasn't great on the ball, but he was very good off the ball. I hope that makes sense. And then obviously he got his pseudo assist as well. So yeah, I'm goodish performance. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. More so for his defensive contribution than his offensive one, although his offensive one also helped us in the game. Now, Müller, poor performance. Very poor performance. Not our worst midfielder, but still very poor performance. To me, Müller gets a 5. To me, it's like the middle of the road. As always, he does a lot of pressing, which helps out defensively. But Lyon didn't really keep the ball at the back, so there wasn't too much for him to press. Every time they did get the ball, they kind of just lunged it forward, rightly so. But once they did keep it at the back, he was obviously the first person that was pressing. He was also helping out in defense. So for me, he just gets a solid 5. Nothing good, but nothing bad. Just like a decent performance, basically. 5. Middle of the road, a 5. Then on the right, Gnabry. How do you assess Gnabry? How do you assess Gnabry? He scored 2 goals. And most importantly, he scored it at a crucial moment in the game. He scored the first goal at a crucial moment in the game. I think he gets a 9.5. I don't want to give him a 10 just yet. There's definitely things that he should have done better as well. But because of how crucial the goal was, I have to elevate that. And considering what kind of goal it was, I have to elevate that. It wouldn't be right, it wouldn't be just if I didn't elevate that. Because Lyon were on us. They were on us until he scored that goal. And then, whoop, their belief out the window. They still obviously came back later on, but their belief out the window. We were like, okay, we can now sort of, work and build up our play. And that's why, starting from that goal from his, we just looked so much more, we just looked so much better. So that alone makes me give him an 8. Then his second goal, that alone makes me give him a 8.5. And then just his overall contribution to the game, to me, makes him our best player on the night, making me give him a 9.5. For the second goal, the way he pressed it, showing you, press the defense, they will make mistakes. So pressing them, 9.5, brilliant. And his overall game contribution was very, 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 very good. So for me, he gets a 9.5. Now Lewandowski, to me, he gets an I was gonna say 8.5, but I think an 8 is more justified. For me, Lewandowski gets an 8. He did a lot of things right. Like, the chances came to him. He pressed, helped out in defense. For the second goal, he got up very, very quick. Which if he didn't get up very, very quick, the referee could have potentially whistled an offside, because then you could have made the argument that Lewandowski is obstructing the goalkeeper's view, and thus he isn't on an offside position. But he got up very, very quick, which meant, and obviously he should have gotten the goal, but he did get a goal as well. So he did a lot of. He did get a goal as well. Do I boost that? I don't know. I don't think so. I know he's a striker. His job is to score goals. I do get that. But I think his overall performance makes me warrant giving him a 7.5. And then with the goal, I'm gonna elevate it as well and give it an 8. I thought he was one of our better players as well. Although it wasn't his best performance. There are performances where he's done significantly better. Today wasn't meant to be his performance. Let's just hope his next one will be. He could have easily had 2 or 3 goals himself today, Lewandowski. He just kind of didn't. He just kind of didn't. He just kind of missed everything until the very end of the game, which I am completely okay with. I truly am. He's saving goals for the final. He's saving the goals for the final. So that is my first team 11 ratings. Now, in terms of the people that came on, and I'm not going to rate all of them, because some of them, they just didn't have enough contribution to the game. Sula to me was a 7. Actually, a 7. I was going to say 7.5, but a 7. And he did a lot of things right. Key things that I thought he did wrong were he was a little bit slow sometimes, which doesn't make sense considering that he's one of our faster players. But he was a little bit slow to react, and that could just be match sharpness. I wouldn't say so much as recovery speed was slow or anything of that sort, but more so slow to react. Like, it took him like a half second to like react instead of like 200th of a second. That little bit counts a lot. That's why goalkeepers, that's how goalkeepers earn their living. And if you don't just that split second faster, most of the time, you're in front of the defender, you make that goal. So he had a mixed performance. Like, he wasn't bad. There was just a few times where he was a little bit slow, but then he used his pace or he used his strength to kind of just out-muscle people. But nothing special either. Just a solid performance, basically. Coman came on, did a lot of things right, but as usual, did a lot of things wrong as well. I think we had like 3 counters with him on the ball, and they all obviously went to absolutely nothing. Nothing happened from them. Just a shame, honestly. I just wish you give Coman the vision, the decision making of a different of like, say, Gnabry or Thomas Muller. Given the IQ of Thomas Muller, the footballing IQ, and Coman is the best player in the world because he does everything right except the final ball. And it's so frustrating because you know that you're watching him, you're like, yeah, he's gonna get past the 4 men that are chasing him. He's gonna get past the 4 defenders that are trying to defend him. But then when it comes to making the final pass, making the cross, making the shot goes over the net or wide. The cross goes completely wide, or the pass just misses the place, and it's just frustrating to watch, honestly. He gave us some much needed legs though in the second half as well, so I can't really overlook that. I give him a 5. Coleman to me gets a 5. Just decent, but nothing special, nothing bad basically. And then besides that, we had a Coutinho should have scored. Coutinho should have scored, but he did have a good performance, like okay performance, like nothing terrific, nothing atrocious, just an okay performance. To me, he gets a 6 out of 10. Tolisso, he wasn't in the game for too long. There were a few moments that he did have. He could have, maybe should have scored, I guess, as well. But I'm not gonna judge someone that was in the game for like 10-15 minutes. All right, I could, which if I were, I'd give him a 6 as well. Who else came on? Did Pavard come? No, Pavard didn't come on. Did he? Because Kimmich played in midfield later on. So did Pavard come on? Don't think so. 1 second. I'm actually looking this up right now because I watched the game twice and I can't remember whether Pavard came on. So I'm assuming he didn't. That's just my thing. No. Yeah, he did. He did come on, but the fact that I don't remember him, I just remember Kimmich moving in midfield. That's the big part. Said a lot. Like he's not gonna have the best performance after his long injury spell. So for me, Pavard, I'm not gonna judge him. Simple. First of all, because I really don't remember. I really don't remember. And second of all, just because. Just because. Is he going to play the final? I doubt it. I very much doubt it, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, that was my player ratings. Let me know what your ratings are, everyone. This is obviously quite a long video because I don't just want to give players a rating. I also want to elaborate why I give them a rating, which is why for Pavard, for example, I can't elaborate on that, so I'm not going to give him a rating. But yeah, that's my player ratings for this game. I'm also planning at the end of the season, once we win the Champions League next season, next weekend, to do a player season review, which I might actually, I'll do it where I will do a player season review, as in like I will make a 20-30 minute just talking about how a player season went, and then I always want to do a discussion. So I'll host like an open discussion where everyone is invited to join. All you need is a microphone, and you'll be able to join. And so it's not just me giving my take on how a player did, but like everyone can like share how they think one specific player did. So we're gonna do that like maybe once a week, where like once a week I'll do a player season review, and then maybe in that same week we'll do a discussion. I'll invite everyone I want to join into, say, a group chat or something, a group hangout, whatever program people use, and then everyone can share their opinions. Doesn't sound bad. I'm also trying to revive my, actually not trying to revive, I deleted it. I'm gonna create a new Discord basically, and everyone is welcome to join. I'll have a link for that in the description down below. Probably won't be in this video. Next video, check the description, and then you'll be able to join. And we'll probably use Discord to talk about football, I think, to do these discussions on the player specifically. So that is what I have in mind right now, ladies and gentlemen. But that's my player review. Let me know what you all think, and I'll see you all in the next one, everyone. Peace out. Have a nice day. Until next time, bye. Until we win it, bye.